Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome back. In this video we will continue with the ribs feature. So in the previous video we did the profile rib option and this was the result. So we will continue with this with the same part and we'll try to cover some of the aspects of the trajectory rib option. So let me first sketch some profiles so that I can use them for rib conversion. One thing more in the Creo, this is Creo environment, so we do have a shortcut for the sketch in the Creo. If you click on any face, any planar surface or an existing plane, like for example datum plane 1, which we created for that rib feature. So if I directly click on any plane, so a pop-up appears and we can edit that, we can use multiple options which are available in that pop-up window, and you can see that the sketch tab is also available. So if I click on a plane or surface and then I select the sketch option, so it will directly take me to the sketcher mode, and then if you do not want this orientation of the workpiece, so you have the ability, the other tab is available for the sketch setup. So if you click on that, so you can change the orientation by simply for example, this is the orientation tab, and if I set it to the right, so you can get your desired sketch orientation. For example, if you want to have a positive view from that side, so that you can also do by flipping the arrow direction, this one, the direction view. So if I flip that, so I can get this. So this will be your new orientation for the new sketch, and then you can start sketching. So let me make some sketches on that top surface and on this front side. So let me first pick this front side. So let us do it step by step. So first I will click on the sketch tab. So it will ask you to select a plane. So I can use this surface as a sketching plane because it is a flat one. So if I want to use this as my sketching plane, and for the orientation, if I select this face, and set it to the right side, and this is my positive direction, so I will get the same orientation. And then I can use the heads-up display to change the view to wireframe, and then I can go for the entities, lines, or let me start with a spline. So I can start creating a spline. And then you can click the escape key or this arrowhead to select any other option. So with the spline you have the ability to change these control points, and you can give your desired shape to the spline. Okay, so let us say this is the shape that you want. So I will click on the OK. And now I have one entity which I can use it as a rib feature. Let me make another spline on the top. So again, if I go to the sketch, I pick this flat surface as my sketching plane, and I take this surface and align it to the right side. So this will be my sketch view. Again, I am using the spline command. So let me start certain. Okay. And then I can use the object snap mode if, because these two entities do not touch, so we have an open space, and we will not be able to create the spline. So if I use the coincident option and I select this point and make it coincident to this one, so I will get, so okay, the figure looks like okay, so I will click on the OK button. So now I have two sketches, and let me use them for the recreation. So if I pre-select this sketch, for example, and let us start with the profile rib again once more. What did I told you in profile rib is that it will generate the rib feature, and that will be parallel to the sketching plane. So in this case, my sketching plane is this one. So in this direction, in downward direction or in the up direction, you can go for the profile rib feature. So in the upward direction, we have an open region, so it will not create the rib feature. So we must go to the other side, and here if you give the thickness, for example 10 units, let us say, still it is not creating that particular rib, and this is because the rib thickness option is set to the mid plane. So that is half of the rib will be generated on one side of the curve, half to the other side. But if you look at this curve, uh, it is starting at the end point of that particular side. So towards this side we have again an open region in the at the bottom side also. So you must take care of these things when you are creating your curves on the corner points or on the edges. So you have to change then the direction of that rib creation. So it is now totally up to this side, the thickness of the rib, and once again if I click it, so let me change the weave to the shading mode, so that you will be able, so if it is on the mid plane, it will not create the profile. Totally on this side we have an open region in the downward direction, and if we go to the other side of the line, so this is my entity, and the material is added towards the internals, towards the block. So that is why you will be then able to create the rib feature. We can use this particular line or curve for the other rib option, which is the trajectory rib. So trajectory rib is opposite of the profile rib. Here the rib will be generated perpendicular, or you can say normal to the sketching plane, which is in this direction. So you can go in this direction and in this direction. So towards this direction again we have open region, so it will not generate that rib, but to the towards the internal region of the tank we do have a closed path. So a closed region आपके पास बन रहा है, so we will be able to make that trajectory rib option. So if I go in this direction, तो अगर इस arrowhead को मैं click करूँ इस direction में also it won't generate that. And rest of the options are the same. Here you can change the thickness placement में, and for the shape this is a rectangular rib option. So if you view that, so a simple rectangular or planar rib will be generated throughout that region, which makes a closed path. Again, if you look at the dashboard, so there are certain other options available for the trajectory rib also. So you can add draft to the walls. ठीक है ना। अगर इसको जो प्लेनर सरफेस है, इफ़ यू वांट टू गिव सम slant angle or taper angle, so you can do that. So if I click on the angle option, so I can do this angle is larger, so it is basically interfering the upper part. So if I change this angle to 2, so you will be able to see, you know, so you will have a slanted wall starting from the start point of the generation to the end point. So similarly you can change that. So let me a little bit increase this angle, so you can see from the side view that the rib walls are generating at the desired taper angle that you have entered in the shape tab. You know? Secondly, let me decrease that angle a little bit so that I can use the radius option. So if I again change it to 2, you know, so you will have a 2-degree slant angle at the sides of the rib walls. Yeah. So you have a round feature as well, you know, and that round will be added to the top, to the start point of the rib, and this is the start point of that rib. So right now we have a straight plane surface. You know, so if I click on the round, so look at the shape, it has given that fillet radius to the, you know, so you can closely look. So this is that radius that you are getting. 5 यूनिट्स है, अगर इसको मैं 2 यूनिट्स कर दूँ, ठीक है ना, सो दैट एंगल विल बी डिक्रीज बाय दैट मच अमाउंट जो आपने दिया हुआ है, ठीक है ना. सो लेट इट बी 5 यूनिट्स सो दैट यू कैन सी इट. Similarly you do have an option for the other ends around it, ठीक है ना. सो इसको अगर मैं क्लिक करता हूँ, सो लुक एट दिस शेप, रिजल्टेंट शेप. So it will also include a fillet radius at the end of, ठीक है. सो यहाँ पे आपको वो रेडियस इफेक्ट जो है वो नज़र आ रहा है. और इसको आप इनएक्टिव करते हैं, सो यू विल गेट अ स्ट्रेट एज, ठीक है ना. अगर आप इसको एक्टिवेट करते हैं, सो यू विल गेट दैट राउंडेड rib feature, ठीक है ना. एंड once you are satisfied with the result, so you can click on the OK button. And you will get that desired rib feature. So this will be your trajectory rib. So let me undo this and let me use the other rib feature, which is this as sketch. You know, so if I pre-select the sketch and again let me use the trajectory rib option, you know. So now the sketching plane was this planar surface, so it will be perpendicular to that. So in the downward direction you can go for the rib, ठीक है ना. upward direction में इसमें भी आप नहीं जा सकते because we have open region over there, ठीक है. And rest of the things are the same. You can increase or decrease the thickness to one side, to the other side, or to the mid plane. By default it will be set to the mid plane option, you know? So half of the thickness will be given, will be added to one side, half to the other side. You can add the draft angle to the straight walls, you know? So see, so you will have a thickness of 5 units or 4.68 units in this case at the top, and depending upon that particular draft angle the thickness will increase towards the bottom. So you can use the top round edges and the bottom round edges option as well. So it is a simple editing feature that you can use, and you can do so many things with the ribs. You can make complex shape. And by the way, one thing more, that if you are generating a rib and some other feature comes in that particular way, so it will simply exclude that particular region. So ये एक separate part ही आपको नज़र आएगा, ठीक है ना. So इस पे rib नहीं बनेगा, it will wrap around the existing part, जो कि हमारे पास इस केस में ये मिड सेक्शन वाला सिलेंड्रिकल ब्लॉक और उसके ऊपर जो ब्लेड्स हमने बनाए थे, ठीक है ना। सो दिस इज़ हाउ you can use the ribs options. So ribs option में आप for example जो radiators हैं, if you want to generate the make the radiators for the automobile, so you can use the turbine blades में आप use कर सकते हैं, ठीक है ना। So in the next videos we will cover the pattern options. So ये भी हम करेंगे कि how you can use the patterns for ribs or any other feature. So that's it. So if you want to use the rib options, so you have these two options, profile rib and trajectory rib. Profile rib will generate a feature parallel to the sketching plane, and trajectory rib will generate the rib perpendicular to, or you can say normal to the sketching plane. So that's it for this video. Thank you.